So if God doesn't necessarily exist, why do we need gurus? Why do we need Sadhguru?
Do you drive in Delhi?
Unlike you, I have a fear of wheels.
So if you drive in an unknown terrain, you use these days a GPS.
Yes.
Usually a strange woman will tell you, turn right. You turn right. She says, turn left. You say, turn left. She says, make a U-turn. You make a U-turn. Why? Simply because you're not familiar with the terrain. When you're in an unfamiliar terrain, it is sensible to take instructions. GPS means what? Guru Positioning System. The biggest problem in the world is people are still not straight enough to come to a place, what I know, what I do not know, I do not know. Because they have not realized the immensity of I do not know. I do not know is the basis of longing to know and seeking to know and the possibility of knowing.
So what is it that you know, Sadhguru? Why are millions of people your devotees? But there must be something they think that you know, because you just said that life is actually about admitting what you don't know. What beyond this, Sadhguru, do you know and what do you not know?
What do I know? I don't know anything except this one. I know this piece of life from its origin to its ultimate. Everything that I need to know about this life, I know. And I see every other life is actually the same thing if you look deep enough. That if you know anda, you know pindanda, if you know the atomic, you know the cosmic. Because the fundamental design is same, it's only a question of complexity and sophistication of what's happening. So fundamentally, if you know this piece of life, you know everything by inference.
But when you say this piece of life, do you mean yourself? Do you mean this moment? What do you mean by this piece of life?
You are a piece of life, aren't you? Are you life or you media?
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Your story is well chronicled, but what is of interest to people is that you started off as…
I haven't read that book, I know, I hope she's written nice things about it.
She's written a very brilliant… Arundhati Subramaniam has written a very brilliant book.
No, she's brilliant, but what's she written about me?
A few moments later.
Is whether God men are often con men. And how does this lady here know the difference between who's a God man and who's a con man, and is a human being capable of being a God man? Do you think of yourself as a God man?
Why are you underestimating that lady?
Okay, let it be my question. How do I spot the difference between a God man and a con man if I don't even believe that humans can be godly? I think humans can be brave and wonderful and inspiring, but I don't think that they have magical powers.
Did you ever see God having magical powers?
I've never seen God.
So then why are you saying he must have magical powers? So first of all, this God-man is essentially a media-coined word. Nobody claims that he's a God-man, okay? Some are goddamn men, that's different. This is a culture, you must understand, this is unfortunately all mixed up today. This is a godless culture, you must understand this. There has never been an idea of a god. We're using the English word God, but that word doesn't exist in India. Here we call them devas. What a deva means is… See, today media is projecting Tendulkar as a cricketing god. It's very appropriate to this culture. Because if somebody excels beyond a certain level in any field, he may be a sports person, he may be a warrior, he may be an artist, he may be anything. If he excels beyond what normally average human beings think is possible for them, he goes, they recognize him as a deva and he's worth looking up to because he becomes a guiding light for them. That'll anyway happen, whether you like it, you believe it, you don't believe it, in every field, somebody rises, he becomes the light for the rest of the people. So similarly in the inner spaces, when I say the inner spaces, the quality of your life is not determined by what kind of house you live in, what clothes you wear, what car you parked outside, what things jing-bang happening around you, no. This moment, how joyful, peaceful, blissed out you are within yourself. Now if I sit here, we are sitting here in the same space, breathing the same air, probably we ate the same kind of food. But if I sit here now with my eyes closed, the way I am within myself, I will not exchange this for anything in the universe. Now, when people see, no matter the number of things I'm managing is insane. Everybody thinks, Sadhguru, is it possible? You must go crazy someday. All volunteers, over 3 million volunteers, enterprises, businesses, okay, projects, mega projects on the street, all kinds of activity going on around the globe. If anybody has to go nuts, it's me, okay? Because all run by volunteers. Run by volunteers means nobody is trained for the job and you can't fire them for inefficiency because they're volunteers, all right? And anytime, they come in anytime and do great things, anytime they'll walk away and nothing should collapse. Till now, I must tell you this, as we are sitting here, this day, probably little over 300 odd programs, engineering programs are happening in the world. Never in the last 33 years, one program has been abandoned or has failed. That takes enormous management. But nobody will ever see me getting angry or miserable or tensed out or stressed out.
You've never lost your temper?
You want me to know? Do I look like I'm incapable of that? It's not that. It's not that I'm incapable of anger. It's just that I've never given the privilege to anybody. I have not given this privilege to anybody. They can make me happy, they can make me unhappy, they can make me angry, they can make me miserable. No, I kept these privileges to myself. You were talking about miracles or whatever. People ask me, Sadhguru, everybody in every ashram, miracles are happening. You are beating all the miracles down. If we say something happened, you make us look like fools. No miracle. I say, what, you want me to pull a pigeon out of my pocket? If I pull a pigeon…
There are
No,
gurus who claim to do that, who have been challenged by
I'll come to
rationalists.
this. If I pull a pigeon out of my pocket, I have a shitty pocket. And you have a bird. What are you going to do with this? You come to me, I will show you the miracle. I have thousands of people who are working 7 days a week, 16 to 18 days, 18 hours every day. In the last 2, 5, 10 years, not a single moment of irritation, agitation, anger in their life. This is a miracle. This is a miracle we want to manifest.
I agree, this is a miracle.
Yes.
How do we keep faith, which you say is new to us, separate from politics? You have in the past, for example, I remember when Anna Hazare was launching his anti-corruption movement, you did come and applaud it, but you said that the Lokpal was not some magic wand. I remember you saying that. Do you believe that we are seeing a dangerous cocktail of faith and politics getting more and more mixed up?
See, it is happening. I'm not saying no, but it's much less than ever before.
Really?
Yes.
It seems to be much more than ever
No,
before.
that's because of you. That's because if 10 people get beheaded in some remote part of Iraq, you make sure the blood spills into my sitting room because of that. Otherwise, you're sitting here now. Today, let's say 1,000 years ago we were sitting here, 1,000 people got killed in Iraq. We will sit here peacefully thinking world is going really great, springtime. Everything is nice.